Ro, Rohan? Who is this guy? Rohan, the one and only Rohan.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. A little bit of a quick episode this week as I'm recovering from a nasty little bug I managed to pick up.
I think I'm gonna blow a gasket!
But it's been a fantastic week for Transformers news, which I'm sure you've seen in the news on the show. And what I'd like to discuss is 2 or 3 very quick elements. Blitzwing, wow, looks great. There's been such a huge backlash and reaction to this figure.
The name is Blitzwing, insect! Remember it, cause it's the last thing you're gonna hear!
I kind of get it. I've talked about it before, about the whole leader class price point being really expensive for what it is, especially in comparison to the size class of the Voyagers. But realistically, for what you're getting, especially the fact that he's a triple changer, the amount of engineering that's gone into this, it's a great looking figure. And okay, those hands didn't need to be there, but the rest of it looks decent.
Your demeanor is unpleasant as that accursed organic mode of yours.
And I still think it's going to be the best Blitzwing figure we've had in mainline. I still do think that the best Blitzwing I've ever had is the Mech Fans Toys one, which I did a review on the show some time ago. About 25 to 30 pounds. You can't really go wrong. The only thing is it's obviously Legends plus size. The other bits of news this week were about the upcoming Legacy cartoon not being picked up by Netflix. And while this may have come as a little bit of a shock, I don't think it's that big, to be honest with you. If we look at how the Netflix series for War for Cybertron went, I think Siege was probably well received on the whole, but the second and third parts were not so well received by the majority. Jamie, I'm talking to you.
Why is he so grumpy all the time?
And as a result of that, people didn't watch it as much, and it's been promoted on Netflix, but it doesn't seem to have been so popular. So
you'd be grumpy too if you had one servo in the scrap heap.
I kind of get why they're not picking it up. We've had a lot of comments about the quality of the series, Rooster Teeth and what they've done to it, the voice acting, so on and so forth. It's all covered in the reviews I've done in the past.
I may have one servo in the scrap heap, but I can still hear.
Ultimately, I just want to make sure that whatever Legacy is, whether it's the same sort of theme as we've had from War for Cybertron, or if it's something brand new and something more exciting, then as long as we can all watch it and it doesn't become one of these Cyberverse only available on American YouTube type deals, that's the only key thing for me, is can we all get to see it? If it's good, it's good. If it's not so good, I'll still watch it. I'm sure a lot of you will as well. But ultimately, as Transformers fans, we want to see this stuff, right? And the final thing I wanted to touch upon is the Hasbro Pulse news about the Walmart exclusives that went live this week. I don't know if all of you have seen this or have been interested in it, but there were a bunch of Beast Wars figures that went up, as well as the red figures that were made available on Hasbro Pulse UK. And there hasn't been that much discussion about it. I expected there to be more backlash. We saw In Demand Toys and Collector's Den complaining about the fact that Hasbro ultimately told them as retailers there's not going to be any UK stock, there's not enough stock for people here in the UK, so sorry, we won't be able to supply it to you, and then turned their backs and actually stabbed them and said, we're going to sell it ourselves on our Hasbro Pulse UK website.
Young bots. Can't live with them. Can't melt them down for spare parts.
And as a former employee of Hasbro UK, I feel like in the last 20 years, not much has changed. It's all the same nonsense. They're still actually doing those silly games that they were playing with retailers before, not treating them as true partners and engaging them in the way in which they should do. If there's not enough stock for all the suppliers, be honest and tell them that. But do tell them that they're going to sell it themselves, because that just makes the retailer look stupid. Especially when they're saying, hey, we can't sell this to you. It's not going to be available in the UK. We're really sorry. And then all of a sudden, bam, it's up on Hasbro Pulse UK. Not good, Hasbro. So that's it for me this week. I hope you are all well, and I will catch up with you again next week. Back to the studio.